Get ready for some Westelm and Potterybarn inspired Halloween decor projects. Most of them will cost about $1.25 plus the cost of supplies. This is an updated version where I have added in the inspiration, photos, and costs. There will also be a special guest appearance from the real J. Bowen. Hey guys, Emily here with J. Bowen and Company. On today's video, we are going to be making 7 Westelm DIY Halloween inspired projects. These are going to be really fun decorations. They're going to look really cool and high end, but they're going to be very inexpensive to make. We are going to be using some spray paint, some fusion mineral paint, some Iron Orchid Design molds, and a little bit of chalk paint. I will be using a few items that I thrifted along with several items that I picked up at the Dollar Tree for $1.25 each. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get started on these projects. The first project is what I call modern skeletons. So Westelm had a version of these skeletons. They looked to be about the same size. They had one painted in black and one kind of in a terracotta color. These skeletons are pretty decent size. They're probably about 2 feet, I would say, just guesstimating what size they are without looking at them now. So what I wanted to do is I took them outside and I decided that spray painting would be the easiest way to, coat these the fastest, just because the way they are. So sometimes I use my fusion mineral paint and sometimes I use spray paint, just depending on the complexity of the project. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give these 3 skeletons a makeover and make them look modern. So what I decided to do was to paint one this black color, one a white color, and then one kind of as terracotta color as I could get without having to buy any new paint. And there's my daughter right there. She's 9. She wanted to spray paint. Anytime I spray paint, my kids are just dying to do it. So first I found this paint I had. It's kind of like a rusty color. And we started using it, but unfortunately it got clogged up and I could not get it unclogged. And I went back in my garage and I found a bottle of, or a can of this. It's kind of like a caramel color. I used it for gingerbread houses last year and I decided, well, I'll just coat it with that and it'll do. Now you could go out and buy a terracolor, spray paint, but spray paint these days is kind of high. It's like $6 a bottle, it seems like, when I go to purchase it. So I just wanted to use what I had, and this kind of gave it, that same type look as the Westelm. At Dollar Tree, they had these for $1.25 a piece. They had 3 different versions. I actually bought the ones that to me looked the most realistic, and I actually liked them just how they are. But for this project, I thought I would give them a makeover. This is a very simple project, but it makes these skeletons, at least in my opinion, look modern and more expensive than this little realistic version, that they had at the Dollar Tree. I think by just leaving it a solid color, it just makes it look really cool. So if you were going to paint some of these skeletons, what color would you paint them for your decor? And now for the final reveal. What do y'all think? Do you like this simple but sophisticated project? If you like it, give me a thumbs up. The Westelm version was $65 retail, and my version is $1.25 plus the cost of the paint, which I already had, so it really didn't cost me anything. I call this next project the Spooky Eyes Clipboard. So Westelm had a doormat that had these spooky eyes, and I just happened to pick up this clipboard that was at the thrift store in the little free bin. And I actually have some in my stash, but I thought, here it was right there. It was for free. I decided to take it and make it over. So I thought this would be a fun little project that would be easy. And my daughter loves it, so I think she's going to use it. So all you have to do is just, paint your clipboard black. And this clipboard looks kind of old. The the clippy part is a little bit rusted and old, but I like it like that. So I was leaving it just like that, and I just took out my coal black Fusion Mineral paint and gave it a couple of coats of paint. And then what I decided to do is take out my white paint. I think this is the casement paint. And I took that paint and I just decided to just freehand shapes of eyes. Now, if you're not comfortable just, making freehand shapes, you can always draw them on and then paint them in. But for me, this is, pretty simple little project. So I just kind of randomly put these eyes all over this clipboard. Now you could of course use the white paint you already have and any black paint that you already have. But if you don't know, I am actually a Fusion Mineral Paint stockist or retailer, and I have a store in North Georgia, in Alto, Georgia, that carries this at my booth. It's at Barrett's antique store there in Alto, Georgia, which is north of Atlanta and about 20 minutes north of Gainesville, Georgia. But if you're not local to the area, you can check out my website, which is www.jbowenandcompany.com. And I have all of the Fusion Mineral Paint products and the Iron Orchid Design products that I'll talk about later on that website. Also, any of the extra products that I use, I will link them in the description, so you can just check out those links, and you can find the products used there, and I will receive a small commission from those products as well. Clipboard was free, so all I had to do was use the paint, but I already had it, so I'm going to call this this project basically free. I then went back and gave it a second coat of paint over the first coat on the eyes, just to make these eyes pop a little bit better. But unfortunately, when I was putting in the eyeballs, I must have forgot to hit the play button or the record button, and I lost that material. So we're going to jump right to the finished product. So what do y'all think? Wasn't that a fun and easy project? I think kids would love it, and I think adults would like it too. I mean, I would like to use this clipboard. What do you think? So I call this next project Dia de los Muertos skulls. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these little skulls, or they're actually decent sized, kind of like almost human sized skulls. I then took out my Iron Orchid Design mold that is called Rosettes. I took out my cornstarch, and you're going to dust it lightly with the cornstarch. And y'all, I have no idea what that reflection is up there. Oh, I know, it's reflecting on my granite. Okay, it's my phone recording reflecting on the granite countertop. Okay, that's a little bit distracting. Okay, so you're going to take your clay, your air dry clay, and you're going to warm it up. And then you're going to press it into the mold with your hands. And then you can remove the excess, and then you're going to use your brayer there, and you're going to just flatten it out. It gives the bottom surface, or what will be the back, a flat surface. So when I was making these, I wasn't quite sure which one of these molds I was going to use. I have to tell you all a funny story. One of my really good friends in law school, she's from California, and she always loved this kind of look, and she had it in her apartment year round. So, you know, this every time I see the Dia de los Muertos type stuff, which is Day of the Dead in Spanish, it reminds me of her. So I think that's a day where the Spanish people celebrate the people, relatives and friends that have passed before. But, you know, it's also kind of, you know, Halloween type theme, but also it really looks like the Dia de los Muertos to me. So anyway, I'm just making these molds. You need to put the cornstarch there so that your mold doesn't stick. And once again, if you're interested in this mold, I have it for sale on my website. But the thing is, a lot of different molds would work like this. We have some other floral molds that would work. And I have a mold that I thought would be cool. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it is the little mold, you know, those little necklace castings that people put on there. I have to remember what that's called, but they're kind of like old-timey. They kind of made a comeback recently. But anyway, I'll think of it and put the name up there. But anyway, here are the molds. You just want to turn them over and then just let the gravity help you pull them out. And, you know, if there's any little excess clay around the edges, you can just kind of press it in or take it out. But these are really pretty little molds. And so Westelm had these. They had a black version and they had a the black version and a terracotta color version. Here comes my daughter. She's standing next to me. I think she was begging me to take her to the Beetlejuice movie that night, which we actually went to see. And, you know, actually, it was pretty good. I liked it a little bit more than the first one. Have you seen the new Beetlejuice movie? And have you seen the old one? I'm quite sure I saw the first one at the movies when it came out. You know, that movie came out in 1988. I was in middle school when it came out. But anyway, you're going to then take your Tite Bond, quick and thick, and you're going to rub it. For some reason, the little cap, the little nozzle that it normally comes out, it wasn't coming out good, so I just took it off, and I'm having to improvise and just pour it out. So you're just going to, you know, evenly spread the glue on the back of your mold, and then you're just going to glue it on. And so I did that with both of these different skulls. So what do y'all think about this project so far? Have you ever used IOD molds? If not, you should give them a try. I have a whole bunch of different ones on my website. And speaking of molds, the new IOD Christmas molds and transfers and stamps and all that fun stuff, they are coming out soon. And I'm so excited about the new Christmas items. I can't wait for you guys to see them. And I am starting to prepare Christmas videos for you and Christmas projects. And I think that you are really going to like them and be excited about them when you see them. And you're definitely going to want to purchase some of them. Anyway, there's my daughter right there. She's playing around. I didn't even realize she was doing that at the time, but I guess she's helping me out. So anyway, that's all you're going to do. And then I like to... The only thing about these little skulls is because I was putting the weight of the clay on top of the mold, they would fall over depending on which side had more weight. So I actually had to even it out so that they had equal amount of weight on the skulls. A viewer suggested that I add a base to this skull, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use one of the wood rounds that I purchased at one of the local craft stores to glue it down. I think you can find those at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm going to be painting these in those three colors that you saw before, but imagine the possibilities. You can make them colorful or any other color. I ended up having or making 3 of these different skulls for this project. I have 3 kids, so I tend to like to do things in threes. And so the first one, I just gave it a quick coat of the black paint. I then coated the second one in a coat of white paint. And then I use that same caramel color on the third one. And this is basically all I did to these 3 different skulls. Now, you could easily take your antiquing wax or your white wax and go over these later to just give it a different look. It would definitely bring out the details in these projects. But because I was going for a more modern look and I was inspired by the Westelm version, I just left them one color. But like I said, you could always take it a step further. And this one, I did it off camera because I didn't think you needed to see that many molds made. But here's the finished project. If you like this project, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I also love your comments, and I get a lot of great suggestions. So if you have any suggestions or comments, I would love to hear them. So this is my little haunted house. It's a little haunted house that I thrifted for 99 cents. It was okay how it was, but I thought I would make it look just a little bit better. So I took out my little paintbrushes and the coal black fusion mineral paint, and I decided to paint everything except for the little ghost and the pumpkin and the windows that were painted yellow so that they would pop. And that's all I did. It was really simple and it was really easy, and it just updated this look. Now you can also use the little Christmas villages and you can paint them as well. Now I wouldn't paint a nice looking village, people get mad when you do that. But anyway, I would just paint one that's maybe old, chipped, out of style or something like that that doesn't have any value. And you can make those into haunted houses too. Those are really fun. So I am going to make a little brief interruption in my project and introduce to you my daughter Bowen, who is 9 years old. She is working on this haunted house. She has been dying to have her own YouTube channel, but at this time I'm going to allow her to have some guest appearances occasionally on my videos whenever she is crafting alongside me. So she wanted to paint this haunted house, so I let her. So I just wanted you to see her creation. And if you like her creation, I would love for you to give her some encouragement and a comment. Anyway, just take a look. These wooden cutouts from Dollar Tree are perfect for kids because they're inexpensive at $1.25 a piece, and then the kids can make real artwork that they can hang up, and it's more durable. An extra little tip would be to glue several of them together, and then it's just a lot sturdier, but for kids, I think one would be just fine. I would encourage you to allow your kids, your grandkids, or your children to just have fun and create. Let them do whatever they want to. Don't try to put rules on how they can paint it or what colors or whatever. Just let them be creative and create whatever is in their mind. I mean, Bowen totally came up with this design, and I love it, and I love that she loves it. So let's just let kids be kids for now and let them be creative. So here is the final reveal of both her project and my haunted house. Hers was $1.25 and mine cost 99 cents. So I love this next little decoration. These are Apothecary Jars, which I collect from thrift stores whenever I see them. So I took these little skulls and these little hand bones and these other bones that I purchased at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. I took several packages of each and I just put them in these Apothecary Jars. I thought they looked pretty cool, creepy, kind of high end, and actually my kids loved them too. And this one, I took one of those skeletons and I just took it apart. I just snapped apart and I put it in that one. So what do you think about those? I didn't have an inspiration photo on these. I just liked how these looked, going along with the bone theme. I found these little galvanized wall hangings that weren't bad from Dollar General, just like they are if you kind of like this look, but I thought they would be fun to make over, and they're a lot sturdier than the normal wood cutouts that they have at Dollar Tree. So I took the pumpkin one and the ghost one, and I decided to go ahead and just give them a quick coat of paint. And here is my son. He wanted to help out on the ghost. He wanted to learn how to spray paint as well. He's 8. You're going to have to check out my next video to see how I ended up making over the ghost and the pumpkin. I just ran out of time, but I wanted to show you what I did with these skull wall hangings. I ended up making the same type molds as I did did earlier in this video, and then I just glued them on, and then all I did was just spray paint them, give them all a quick coat of spray paint, and that's all you have to do. Now, I think on these, they would be really fun to go over with an aging wax, or a lime wax or a white wax as well, just to give them a slightly different look. Note that if you're spraying items really close together, you really have to watch out for the overspray, but the technique I was using, I was making sure that the others were not getting sprayed on, the overspray on the other one. So just be careful with that, or probably the best idea is to spray these things further apart. And here is one more of Bowen's projects. So why don't you give her a shout out? So this is a set of 3 spooky artwork pieces. So I picked up these little artwork pieces. They're little canvases, and I picked them up with the intention to paint over them. They were 50 cents each, so that's a great deal. They're not very big canvases, but they're big enough to make cute little pieces of art. And so what I did is I just gave them a quick coat of the coal black mineral paint. Previously, I had printed out this set of little spooky Halloween printouts, and then what I ended up doing is taking my water and my paintbrush, and I just dipped my paintbrush in the water and put it around the paper. This is just normal copy machine copy paper. It's not rice paper or anything like that. It's just regular copy paper, and I put the water around the edge of the paper, and the purpose of that is so that you can tear the paper, and it kind of gives it that jaggedy edge that's not perfect, so it looks a little bit older. I just like that look, kind of a little bit more antique looking, and it just makes your artwork look good. So after I get all the edges torn off, I am going to I'm going to take out my Decoupage and Transfer Gel from Potterybarn. Why it's not Potterybarn, Fusion Mineral Paint. I have Potterybarn on my mind. Anyway, I took out the Fusion Mineral Decoupage and Transfer Gel. There it is in my hand, and I gave it an even coat of this transfer gel. You just want to cover the canvas with that, And then I'm just going to take that piece of artwork and I'm going to kind of press it down with my hands. And if you've seen any of my videos before, you've seen me do some decoupaging. You can just use your hands, but if you have a brayer, it works very well, and it will definitely help you not have any wrinkles or a bare minimum of wrinkles. So then you're just going to take your brayer and you're going to rub it down, or just press on it, kind of roll on it like a rolling pin, and it's going to really make the paper lay flat and get rid of the wrinkles. And then you're just going to take another coat of that decoupage gel, and you're just going to just coat the picture with that as well, or the artwork with that. And then you're just going to let it dry. It doesn't take 15 minutes or so, and it will be dry. So once the decoupage gel has dried, what you're going to want to do is, I grabbed out a little bit of my Oakham paint, because if you notice on the sides where the paper was torn, there was a little bit of white areas, so I wanted to cover that up. So I just put a little bit of Oakham paint on my paintbrush, and then I went around the edges, and then I wiped it away just to give it a little bit of a mysterious look. I typically print my images from Graphic Fairy, but there's other sources too that you can get images from online as well. Please note that I'm not sponsored by any of these companies that I'm mentioning. I went ahead and went around the sides or the edges of the canvases as well, and I did this technique on all three of the little artworks so that they would have a cohesive look if someone wanted them as a set. Y'all, the total cost of these pictures individually were just 50 cents for the canvas plus the paint. And then I just printed out, these images. And if you have access to a color printer, I mean, it's just the cost of the ink and the printout. So it's very inexpensive to make these really cool pieces of art. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my next videos. I have a lot of cool videos coming up with the holidays coming up. I cannot wait to get started on Christmas videos. And then I think I may do some just regular thrift flip videos as well. So hit that subscribe button so you'll get notified. Okay guys, what do you think of the final project? Which one of these is your favorite so far? Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you haven't seen that Potterybarn video dupes that I did recently, you should check out that video as well. I think you would really like it. Okay guys, if y'all enjoy these DIY projects, I think you would enjoy my last video where I made DIY chic bougie type projects using Dollar Tree supply. So go ahead and check that out. I have linked that in the comments directly below. And thank y'all for watching.